Should you buy the brand new Epiphone Joe Bonamassa 59 Les Paul Custom? Let's take a look. I'll cover all the options on the market. We'll see if it's worth your money. Let's dive in. It's John here from Play and Trade Guitars, and today I'm going to give you a first look at the brand new Epiphone Inspired by Gibson Joe Bonamassa 59 Les Paul Custom. Long name, but I'll tell you what, this guitar is packed with cool and unique features. And yes, one quick disclaimer, I did blow my voice out shouting at the Chicago Bears, and they won Monday Night Football. That's where we're at. At $9.99, I'll talk about what else is on the market, what other Les Paul Customs are there on the market, and where does it fit into the current range. If you are shopping for this guitar or any other gear, do me a huge favor and yourself a huge favor. Click to buy new gear using my link. You'll get fast free shipping. You can do easy payment plans. You can get this brand new guitar, 12 months, $83 a month, no interest. No kidding. Check that out using my link or scan this QR code if you're watching on a TV. All right, let's dive into some headlines. You're gonna notice with the new 59 Les Paul Custom, you have this beautiful aged looking binding. And check this out, you've got high-end decked out features including Imperial tuners, all gold hardware. You have the Epiphone headstock on this, but I just love that aged binding across the guitar. And check this out, we have a Bigsby on a Les Paul. I've actually done a video, should you put a Bigsby on a Les Paul? It's a really cool thing, so if you don't have a Les Paul with a Bigsby, here you go. Now this is gonna have Epiphone Pro Bucker pickups, which sound really good. I sort of wish it had Gibson pickups, but I think to keep the cost under $1,000, they've been doing a great job in the Joe Bonamassa series at delivering a lot of value for a great price. And the Epiphone Pro Buckers honestly sound really good. Another big value point, this comes with a Nerdville hard shell guitar case, which is super cool. This is an all mahogany build with a set neck. So there's no maple cap like a traditional Les Paul Custom of the era. It's all mahogany, which is super cool. And you've just got great features. Joe Bonamassa does a great job teaming up with Epiphone to give you vintage-inspired guitars at incredible prices. In fact, I want to point out that the last one that he did with Epiphone, the 1955 Les Paul Standard, while not a Les Paul Custom, was a really exciting guitar. You can watch my demo on that guitar. I loved it. And I'll tell you what, if you've already got a bunch of guitars in your collection with humbuckers and you're not necessarily interested in having a Bigsby, I'm gonna rewind a minute and have you go back and watch my video on the Joe Bonamassa 55 Les Paul Standard because it's got a set of P90s. You gotta have a guitar with P90s, so check out that Joe Bonamassa if this one hasn't caught your attention. If you like that decked out gold hardware, the Bigsby, and that 2 pickup design on a Black Beauty Les Paul Custom though, this new guitar is super exciting. So let's look at what else is on the market in terms of Les Paul Customs specifically though, and Epiphone has some incredible choices. The first one I would be crazy not to tell you about. They have an absolute blowout sale on the remaining stock of Adam Jones Les Paul Customs. These were the limited edition artist series. There were 7 of these guitars and they were originally $12.99. They've got hard shell cases, a Seymour Duncan pickup, the works. These are awesome guitars that are getting blown out at $6.99 with the hard shell case. This, I have to point you and tell you that this is the absolute best deal going, hands down, period. Check that out. Around the same price, this is just one of the best-selling guitars for Epiphone, period, and this is the Inspired by Gibson Les Paul Custom. This version of the guitar at $7.99, it's a great price. It won't have a hard shell case, but it will have the regular Epiphone headstock, and it's also going to have the Epiphone Pro Buckers, which are based on Gibson burst buckers. So it's going to be a vintage PAF style sound. So all Epiphone build in terms of the components and the same pickups as you'll find on the new Joe Bonamassa. So I tell you that in the under $1,000 range, if you like that decked out Joe Bonamassa thing with the gold hardware, Imperial tuners, Bigsby, all that, cool, go for it. But if you want the straight ahead iconic Les Paul Custom under $1,000, this is an excellent choice. $7.99 all day. Awesome guitar, check that out. You can also get that in Ebony or Heritage Cherry Sunburst, which is that, check this out. I mean, look at that. On a Les Paul Custom and Heritage Cherry Sunburst, that is a look right there. $7.99. You'll have to get yourself a hard shell case too. Coming back in the price lineup, $7.99, we bump up to $9.99. That's the guitar we're talking about today, the 59 Les Paul Custom. And then we bump up to the Inspired by Gibson Custom line, which the magic number here to remember is $12.99. A lot of these guitars are $12.99, and they're some of the absolute best guitars that Epiphone makes. This guitar right here, the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson Custom Les Paul Custom, is at $12.99, and it looks like the one I just showed you in Alpine White, but this one here is going to sport a true Gibson headstock with mother of pearl split diamond inlay, which is my favorite inlay on a Les Paul headstock. Bound, beautiful, incredible look. True mother of pearl block inlays on an ebony board. And check this out, you have true Gibson USA pickups on this guitar. These are 490R and 498 Gibson USA pickups in this guitar. It also has a hard shell case. The overall quality in terms of getting the Gibson USA pickups and getting the Gibson headstock and mother of pearl blinged out options, I would tell you that this guitar will not let you down. The Joe Bonamassa guitar is on its way, and I will have a full demo here on Play and Trade Guitars, so make sure you hit subscribe and don't miss any of the new guitar reviews and buyer's guides here on the channel. And the Joe Bonamassa is on its way, but it's gonna be hard to compete for everybody in the market with this incredible Les Paul Custom at $12.99, fantastic guitar. If you really want to spice things up and get crazy, Joe has the Bigsby on his, but this is the only one where you'll find a Floyd Rose on a Les Paul Custom. That, of course, is the Alex Lifeson of Rush Les Paul Custom Access. Same price here, $12.99. Now, one of the best guitars that Epiphone makes is the 1979 Les Paul Custom in the Adam Jones collection. It is a little more expensive at $14.99, but I played the custom shop variants of the Adam Jones guitars that came out several years ago. This is the closest that I've found any other guitar comes to achieving that. And it's a fraction of the price of the Gibson Custom Shop, $14.99, antique silver burst, Seymour Duncan distortion in bridge, incredible details, everything from the diamond strap buttons to the mother of pearl blocks on an ebony board, 79 Norland era silver burst Les Paul Custom, just like Adam Jones of Tool. Fantastic guitar. Now remember, this one's at $14.99. with the open book Gibson headstock, but I gotta point out again that the Artist Series, which used to be $12.99, is getting blown out at $6.99. Do not sleep on that deal. That is an incredible deal right there for certain. So we talked about the Adam Jones. If you wanna throw a real curveball, this is kind of, in terms of bling factor, the most similar to the new Joe Bonamassa 59, but it's gonna have the SG body shape. That's because they redesigned the Les Paul, actually because of slumping sales, into what we now call the SG. But when this guitar right here came out in 1963, this was called the Les Paul Custom. And it's got an SG body shape, and here's the thing though, at $14.99, this has 3 humbuckers. So if you like that Black Beauty look, but you said, Joe, I wish I had 3 pickups on it, here's your chance to get not just 3 humbuckers, but 3 Gibson custom bucker pickups. That is $750 worth of pickups in this guitar. Absolutely unreal. Okay, and then if we're gonna go Gibson USA, if you want something made in America, okay, it's gonna cost a little more, sure, but this is the newly released Les Paul Custom 70s, also Norland era inspired. I dig that. I love those guitars from that era. Hey, one more thing, Gibson fans, hit subscribe. I'm giving away a Gibson Les Paul Standard to one of you when we hit 100,000 subscribers. That's gonna happen real soon. I can't wait to give that guitar away. But at $39.99, you can get this beautiful buttercream. You have an ebony finish, tobacco burst, wine red. But I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna go the way of, you know, like a buttercream or an aged Alpine white at $4 grand, I'm just gonna point out that the closest thing from Gibson Custom Shop is gonna cost you $57.99 for the quintessential, what I'll show you right here, the Les Paul Custom from Gibson Custom, okay? And I just wanna take a step back, and people get confused with this. Les Paul Custom, okay, was a guitar redesigned by Les Paul to have kind of a tuxedo look and high-end features. It does not mean that it was necessarily built in the custom shop. Over the years, these guitars have been built not only by Epiphone, but by Gibson USA in Nashville and the Gibson Custom Shop. This is the custom shop variant at $57.99. All this story to tell you a long way around that this guitar is super similar in terms of playability and feel to the $12.99 variant that I showed you right here. So here you go. Epiphone inspired by Gibson Custom, $12.99 with Gibson USA pickups. Or if you really want to deck yourself out, here you go, $57.99, but I think you get my point. For a fraction of the price, you get a killer looking Alpine white Les Paul Custom from Epiphone for $12.99. Now also, showing you the color difference here, here's the Alpine white, like we see on the Epiphone and Gibson Custom Shop. And here's that aged buttercream. So you can kind of see the difference in the color there as well. And you know, as we talk about this new Joe Bonamassa, I love the Les Paul Custom. It's one of my favorite looking Les Pauls on the market, period. The fact that they now have given you this beautiful looking Black Beauty with aged binding of Bigsby gold hardware Imperial tuners, the works in the Joe Bonamassa collection. I always trust what Joe Bonamassa is doing when he gets involved with Epiphone, because they're great guitars. That 55 with P90s is also definitely worth checking out. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to run through the different models available in the Les Paul Custom category. Don't sleep on that Adam Jones sale. That will not be around for long. But in terms of this brand new Joe Bonamassa, I'm going to do what I always do on playing train guitars. I'm going to have that guitar on the bench to pull apart. I'm going to plug it in and play it for a full performance demo and sound samples. And then I'm going to give you my honest, raw reaction to playing the brand new Joe Bonamassa 59 Les Paul Custom after I've torn it apart and played it. I'll give you a final score based on overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. And at the end of the day, my job, even with a sore voice from screaming at the Chicago Bears on TV last night and riding roller coasters at Six Flags this weekend, what a weekend it was. Even after all that and losing my voice, my job is to steer you through the world of guitars and make sure that you find the new guitar that's right for you. And when you're ready to buy, I hope you'll consider using my link. Not only does it support me and what I do here on Playing Train Guitars, but you, more importantly, get fast free shipping and easy payment plans. Les Paul Customs, it's a lot easier to get one when you use these no-interest payment plans. So thanks for supporting me here on the channel. I'll see you next time for the full review on the 59 Les Paul Custom. Joe Bonamassa, great work with Epiphone. I'm pumped about this one. Can't wait to play it. Hope you enjoyed looking at the other options. See you on the next demo and keep playing.